Wow, Digimon is back. I mean, wow, it's really back. I don't follow a lot of Digimon news since it's kind of far and few between. I'm still waiting on Digimon Survivor to come out, and that was announced a long while ago, so I didn't really know that this was even happening. Welcome to the first episode of Writing on Digimon, Digimon 2020 episode 1. Also, I just quickly want to say that this probably would have come out sooner, but the first time I tried to watch the show, my application glitched out and I just decided to put it off until a later time. Seriously though, what a ride this first episode was. The slow pace, the soft music showcasing the arrival of something new about to unfold. Koshiro's introduction to Taichi and the immediate introduction of Hikari in the first episode. Prior to this first episode, I had no idea what it was that I was about to watch. I didn't expect it to be a deviation of something from what originally played out. I thought that this would have been something much more like the original, in that they were already at summer camp and everyone found themselves in the digital world. However, it was different, and I liked it. It's like the show was saying Digimon is back. No shit, I just keep saying that. But it's not what you think, and we're gonna try and make it special. I don't know if this will play out for the duration of the show, but at least episode 1 did indeed feel special. So it seems that they're not completely throwing out the idea of going to summer camp before going into the digital world, but rather they're setting up the chosen children as a prelude to them going into the digital world. Maybe by episode 5 or later we'll see them finally arrive there, but for now we're going to see what they were doing in the events leading up to them joining together. This first episode was so reminiscent of the Hoshida film Bokura no War Game, or Our War Game. Koshiro and Taichi were always portrayed as being tight, even in the original. This first episode shows us that it will continue to carry on that tradition despite its new approach on the series. Right now, from an introduction scene, Taichi and Koshiro are meeting for the first time. The computer otaku is trying to express himself to Taichi in a timid way as to not risk putting off Taichi after mustering up the courage to talk to him. Taichi immediately recognized Koshiro's potential in data management and is charmed by it. He's definitely not that guy, but it's cool to see that there's someone who understands the trouble that's plaguing Tokyo more than he could ever. As I previously mentioned, this plays out in a very similar sense to Our War Game, in that Taichi enters the net and is led by Koshiro through the real world on how to tackle the problem. Agumon's introduction in any scenario always gives me the chills. I love him so much. I love hearing him say Taichi! I especially have a connection with Agumon since his dinosaur head reminds me so much of my late baby boy, and since I'm still mourning him, I nearly lost it when Agumon made his appearance. But Agumon is and always will be a good boy. He's finally met Taichi and he's ready to protect his child, despite Taichi not knowing what that meant. Agumon knew that Taichi was there to protect someone he cares about, and for that he was ready to do his best beside him. That's definitely the same Agumon. I also just really like that Tai didn't let Agumon do the work by himself and got involved to fighting the virus. It was a surprise to see Greymon make an appearance in the first episode. I know that the original anime waited a little bit for each chosen child to have their spotlight, but at this moment I don't recall if Greymon was in the first episode of the original series. If memory serves correct, I don't think he showed up until episode 2. I'll double check in post-production, but overall it was a good solid introduction to Greymon. I especially enjoyed that there wasn't a cut to stock footage of Agumon's evolution to Greymon like in the original. I'm not going to hold them accountable to do it for the duration of the show's runtime, but at least for episode 1 and their message of Digimon is back and it's special, it was cool to see them grow Agumon out and metamorph into that giant bone lizard Greymon. Oh, and since I mentioned Hikari earlier, since this episode made sure to show us new events prior to the original's introduction, I'm really holding out to see a Hikari and Tailmon union much sooner than later. I think that the writers recognize the popularity of Digimon Cyber Sleuth and the whole dancing between the real world and the internet to solve problems in our real world reality charm people, especially since this version of the internet looks so much like what it looked like in Cyber Sleuth. Though the decision to include this move was pretty smart on their end, but it wasn't something untested prior since Our War Game exists in that very premise. The teaser at the end with Yamato or Matt and the threat looming in America really has me intrigued to see if we are indeed going into our wargame territory, especially since the second episode is called Wargame. I was thinking that I would continue writing into episode 2 to include it into one video, but I think what I'll do is work on this to get it up as soon as possible, and later on in the week I'll write episode 2 for you all. My plan going forward is to write small scripts on the show and release them in between episodes. Since this one is late, I'm going to work on it all day long to get it up instead of Sunday's video and then release episode 2 later on in the week. I can't stress enough how much I love Digimon, so writing on the new show is a pretty exciting prospect. If you like this video and you want to see more, because I will definitely at least make one more, then consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Oh, and rate, comment, and such and such. Let's continue to Digivolve in the next one. Bye, cha.